So I'm joined today by health coach Maria Reardon, and today I wanted to bring her on board to talk about the connection between sleep and stress. We know that business owners often put that right far down the to-do list. So Maria, can you please start talking to us about the connection between sleep and stress and what business owners need to be thinking about?
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me on, Gemma. It's really nice to have this opportunity to talk to everybody. So what I wanted to, we kind of were talking for a while, Gemma, weren't we, about what we're going to focus on. And one of the things that comes up most common with my clients is kind of issues they have around sleep. But one of the main things is their lack of ability to prioritize sleep. So as a successful business owner, you know, you're trying to power through, you're trying to get everything done. And a lot of that kind of personality is a bit of a workaholic. You just want to get everything done. You don't want to let anyone down. So you end up kind of burning the midnight oil, working crazy hours, working much later than you would if you were actually working for somebody else. And what I've had to do with an awful lot of my clients is really get them to reprioritize their sleep, because when we actually get those 7 or 8 hours sleep on a daily basis, we are letting ourselves work at a much more efficient level. And what we need to realize is when we're sleeping, it's not like time just stops and nothing happens. There is some serious good stuff going on when we're asleep. So like our main brain development happens when we're asleep. All our brain cells get laid down, all our new brain cells get made, our immunity is built up. And with everything that's happening right now around the world, with all these viruses and stuff, we definitely don't want to be taking sick days. We all know what that feels like when you're at work and you have to take a day off of your own business. Going to sleep allows your body to completely rejuvenate your immune system and build any new antibodies for any kind of new viruses or bacteria that you've come in contact with in that day. That's your time to build up the immunity towards it. Another thing that sleep does is it heals your body. So if you have any
So sorry about this.
kind of physical ailments or even mental wellness. Oh, hello, what's her name?
This is Charlie.
Oh,
Sorry.
hi Charlie, welcome. I bet Charlie's pretty good at sleeping.
Not when we're sleeping.
They've got it down pat, haven't they, cats? But one of the other things it does is it reduces cravings. So if you find yourself craving coffee, craving sweet food, a lot of the time that's because your body is just knackered. You're just really, really tired. So your body's craving to get a quick fix. So it wants caffeine, it wants sugar, okay? Because it needs sleep, but it knows it's not going to get it. So it's reaching for the next quick fix. Whereas if you're getting your 7 or 8 hours, you wake up, you don't necessarily crave those foods nowhere near as much, and you'll just have a better appetite in general. So I think, Gemma, that's one of the main things I want to get across to your audience in this video is that if you get your 7, 8 hours sleep, you're actually going to be much more productive in your day because your body is rejuvenated and it's ready, and the amount of time it'll take you to do a task will actually be less than a sleep deprived version of you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I think it certainly resonates with me when I go away for the weekend and I stop and I'm doing something that I'm really enjoying, and then I go to bed ready to fall asleep, and then I sleep. You know, when I come back on the Monday, I have that extra gusto that I need to take me through the week. And when I don't sort of take away that time, then I go to bed and I'm still thinking, and, you know, I'm moving from bed, from work to bed. And you know, I didn't mention that Maria's in Ireland at the moment. The children have just gone to sleep. It's really late and she's just started working. And a lot of the business owners do that. We just keep going. And I know that Maria's got some fantastic tips for you around improving that situation.
Yeah. So what I get from a lot of my clients, you know, they'll eventually hear me, you know, prioritize your sleep. You know, this myth like sleeping is cheating, like that's not the case anymore. We're no longer 19. So it's kind of right. A lot of my clients are like, right, I know I need to sleep, but when I get into bed, I can't sleep. Okay, I'm tired, but I can't sleep. I cannot turn my brain off. My brain is thinking all the things it has to do. Like I need to, you know, get my kids new shoes. I need to do the laundry. From that I get you know, that medicine for my daughter? Did I email back that client? Oh my gosh, I never sent out that invoice. Your head is just going, and it's got all these tabs open. And I've definitely been there. I've definitely been that person. And there's nothing more frustrating than wanting to sleep and not being able to sleep. So what's happening there is the major issue that's happening there is the divide between work and relaxation is too blurred. Okay. So your body isn't actually aware, your brain isn't aware that you've stopped working. And one of the main causes of that, guys, is our unrealistic attachment to work emails and pop-ups. Like, so do you know, if you're that person, do you have pop-up emails on your phone? Are you sitting down with your partner at 10 o'clock at night and getting a work email or, you know, a message from work? That is really unhealthy for us when we think about our work-life balance. So, you know, no offense, but it's not that important, okay? Unless you work for some very serious emergency organization, you are allowed to clock off, okay, for a couple of hours. And that don't bring your work into your personal life. You need to have that separate divide. So turn off the notifications, okay? Turn off the notifications when you switched off from work. You'll find that your clients respect you more as well when you tell them, look, I'll get back to you in the morning because I have a life outside of work. So that's one of the main things. The next thing that you hear a lot about is what we call this power down hour, or this kind of bedtime ritual. So when we're looking at our devices and we're looking at the TVs and all that kind of stuff, that really affects our circadian rhythm because of the daylight that comes from those phones. So our brain still thinks it's the middle of the day. So when we're staring at it before bed, now I used to do this too. It took me a while to discipline myself to stop. You're on your phone in the bed, like, come on, hands up, we've all done it. Pointlessly scrolling through stuff, and then you turn your phone off and you close your eyes and you say, I can't sleep. Well, of course you can't, because your brain still thinks it's the middle of the day. Okay, we are, you know, we're all, our historical traits are still there. They're still there in us. So what needs to happen there is you can turn down the brightness in your phone. You can also, both Androids and iPhones have a nighttime mode that will kick in. So for example, my nighttime mode kicks in at 9 o'clock. So it'll all go dark. I'll still be able to see it, but it'll just be a lot darker. And then it goes off at 7 a.m. So that is a function that most phones have, which is really, really good to use. And it also, if you're on your phone when it happens, you just go, oh, my phone's gone into sleep time mode. Maybe I need to do the same. So it's a nice little trigger as well. So that's really, really helpful. But if you can actually stay away from the screens at least an hour before bed, that's invaluable. And, you know, there is plenty of other things to do. Your old good style reading, you know, chatting to people, story time with the kids. Like, I've got 2 young kids. I know that it's not always easy to turn all the screens off, but it's just a habit, a ritual that you can get into. The other big thing is teas and coffee, okay? Drinking, I see people drinking coffee at 6, 7 o'clock at night, and they'll tell me like, oh no, it doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect me. It does. It's caffeine. It's a stimulant. It will affect you. So we really shouldn't be having tea or coffee like after 3 o'clock. Ideally, I always say no tea after 3. So have a herbal tea, okay? Or have like a hot drink that's just not got caffeine in it. Okay, there's plenty of amazing options out there now with your turmeric lattes and your matcha teas and all that kind of good stuff. And eating late, Gemma, if we're eating anytime past 6 or 7, our digestive system is working. Food stays in your stomach for 4 hours and then stays in your intestines for up to another 4 to 8 hours. So you think about it, you go to bed, your digestive system got no rest. It was all night. It was trying to break down that food that you put in there at like 10 o'clock at night. So the power of sleep, Gemma, like, it just cannot be underestimated for the success of your business.
One thing that resonated with me is that you're seeing people once they're in crisis mode, once something's gone wrong. But the tips that you've given us, they don't cost anything. They're not going to take any extra effort. It's just a mind shift. It's just a changing of habits. But investing in your sleep, investing in yourself is going to increase your productivity and your output, and, you know, and all the good things that come with that in terms of your business. And, you know, Maria's just, you know, you don't have to wait until you're in crisis mode. If you're seeing signs like stress, low productivity, low motivation, procrastinating, those are early indicators that something's out of balance. And the tips that Maria's just given you are really simple to put in place. They don't cost you anything, and they could have a huge impact on the outcome.
Definitely, yeah, definitely.
Well, I'm going to leave some links for Maria if you'd like to pick the conversation up with her and figure out how it applies to you and the things that you could be doing in your specific situation, then you can reach out to her directly. Otherwise, again, thank you, Maria, for taking the time to do this with us, and I really appreciate the advice that you've given.
No worries. Thank you, Gemma.
Thank you.